Issue number 1 of Shadowman is coming out on April 28th, and in this video I'm going to tell you why you should pick it up. I am Anchorpete, and today it's time for us to jump back into the Valiant universe. Shadowman was one of the original characters that debuted when the Valiant universe was first created. He appeared in May of 1992 and was created by the father of the original Valiant universe, Jim Shooter, along with writer Steve Englehart and artist Mike Manley. Shooter, Englehart, and Manley are all legendary comic creators, but I have to give a special shout out to Mike Manley, who created Darkhawk, one of my all-time favorite comic book characters, and Darkhawk issue 3 was the first comic book I ever read. People might know of Shadowman from outside of the Valiant Comics because of his video game that debuted on the Nintendo 64 in 1998. The current version of Shadowman has been around since 2012, when the Valiant universe made its return to comic book shops. That brings us up to the modern day, and on April 28th, we will get to check in with Jack Boniface. Jack Boniface is a musician from New Orleans who, with the help of the Shadow Loa, an immensely powerful voodoo spirit passed down through his lineage, can turn into Shadowman, Earth's protector from the demons of the Deadside. The Deadside is, according to writer Cullen Bunn, a space between worlds, a boneyard echo of the living realm. In this upcoming issue of Shadowman, we see examples of creatures coming over from the Deadside and foolish humans attempting to journey to the dark place. In both cases, Shadowman, who can cross between the realms, is there to shut them down. Even though he has written a ton of superhero books, Cullen Bunn's forte is horror comics, like Harrow County and The Empty Man. He is a perfect fit for the character of Shadowman. He has experience working in the modern Valiant universe, and has written about one of Shadowman's allies, Punk Mambo, prior to this book. Cullen Bunn's scripts give artist JON DAVIS-HUNT a lot of gruesome creatures and disturbing moments to draw out. This is a straight-up horror superhero book that gets about as disturbing as you can get while staying within the same standards as a DC or Marvel book. I think a good metaphor might be that the old Vertigo comics from the 90s and early 2000s could get as depraved and disturbing as a show on HBO, while the modern Valiant books are just a little more reserved, but still able to get as graphic and dark as a show on FX. It is clear that Cullen Bunn has an understanding of New Orleans and the voodoo culture. Baron Samedi, a mythical voodoo character, makes an appearance in issue 1 of Shadowman 2. I really love JON DAVIS-HUNT's design for Samedi. This issue is a great jumping on point for new readers. There is a simple, self-contained adventure that alludes to a greater story and a potential major threat for Shadowman to face. Cullen Bunn's version of Jack Boniface is different from the version that Peter Milligan created when the character returned in 2012. Milligan's Shadowman was a bit more reluctant. Bunn's version of the character borders on cocky. He embraces his powers. I haven't read every appearance of this modern version of Shadowman, so it is possible that Jack Boniface has become so headstrong because of his experiences in the Valiant universe. I really like the way Bunn describes the Deadside and its relation to our world. It seems like the very nature of the Deadside is going to play a part in this series. If Cullen Bunn and JON DAVIS-HUNT are in it for the long haul, then I'm going to be super excited to follow this book. When I first started this channel, I created a segment called Valiant Victory Lap, where I tried to cover all the modern Valiant books that I had yet to read. Those videos were a lot of fun to make, and they get new views up to this day. Well, after reading this issue of Shadowman, I'm ready to start making some more Valiant videos. Next up, I'm going to cover Cullen Bunn's other journey into the dark magic side of the Valiant universe, Punk Mambo. That's it for our video on Shadowman issue 1. Make sure you check in with us on Fridays at 9 p.m. Central Time, where Brian and I review episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Besides that, you can get some more comic book related content on my channel every week. And if you head over to my other channel, The Lacercast, you can get some horror related content too. That might be good for some of you Shadowman fans. All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time.